Alright guys, yet another spice mission. I really love those weapons. Today I'm tasking my flight of destroying the Saza radar station. This is the this is pretty much I don't know, this is probably a civilian installation, and it's been turned for military purposes. Uh, so pretty much falls into the category of targets. I don't think there are actually any civilians there. It's been occupied by military personnel. It's a Syrian TV station, which also have some kind of radar situated there, and they're using it for military purposes. Um, so this is their one of their major communication facility. Now we're hitting the radar there, and we're hitting the TV station building itself. We're also hitting this air base, if I'm not mistaken, the Fallujah. Yes, the Fallujah camp. We're hitting both the depots there, and pretty much, yeah, guys. As you can notice here, I'm switching my attention over here to strikes to the east, because this is what I'm expecting actually to have the main part of the enemy offensive to come from. If they're actually planning on doing an offensive at all, this is where it's gonna be. So we pretty much have this SA2 situated over here. I'm gonna check this one. Yeah, this one also is an operational SA2. I'm gonna try to stay out of range of those guys as much as I can. And really, guys, I mean, I've seen on my raw when in there a bunch of SA-17 nails, but I don't see those guys actually here. They're probably intertwined over here with some of those battalions, but really don't see them. Those are the MRLSs. Those are the HQs. I don't see any SA-17 asset there, so we have to stay extremely cautious. Try to stay all vigilant, and this goes for really all the flights there. Now I'm gonna shift a little bit of our priorities around. I'm gonna up over here because we had really some immense uh, air activity. I'm gonna put this army triple C infrastructure. I'm not gonna touch 'cause this thing's gonna be very expensive to fix later on. So don't want to destroy. I don't want to destroy a Lebanese infrastructure, especially because these guys, then we have to invest there to just to repair everything after this thing. So yeah, logistics, I'm putting it way up because we're getting the depots there. War production, I know war production is here over Damascus. They have a lot of machine plants because it really could. We really could damage there well within reach of our Falcons. We really could put a dent in the war production. Naval base, I'm not even conserving those, and I'm putting the actual tactical strikes up on all units except on the naval units. Mission type is offensive counter air. I wanna, yeah, I'm gonna keep the offensive counter air on for several more hours just to make sure I knock down all the bases, against the frontline bases there. SAM suppression, I'm keeping it up. Air interdiction, I'm keeping it up because I just wanna make sure over here we don't get molested over here through Lebanon. And really I'm not seeing any troops there. Probably they're preparing something, and while they're preparing I'm going to try to knock down some of the supply depots there, because this is going to be their main approach route over here, this highway that you see into Israel. And I want to also make sure installation infrastructure to see if there are any bridges over here. No bridges here. It's a land connection, and some of the river crossings. We have one bridge there, but we have control of it with two motor rifle and one artillery battalion, so it doesn't make sense to destroy this just yet. We have a bridge over here, which is yeah, which is I wouldn't comment on it. And we have one over here from Sur down to the south that connects Sur with the mainland. And Sur apparently is a little island over here, because you can see it has three bridges interconnected, but we don't have anything there, and really we have to go into Sur, so it doesn't make too much sense to destroy the bridges. Yeah, this is pretty much it. And what I'm seeing here is actually one armor battalion over here. So hopefully those guys can target it pretty efficiently. And remember, we don't have any air-to-ground missiles, the Israeli Falcons whatsoever. We're confined to using the bombs exclusively. We don't have any Mavericks, guys. This is pretty interesting. But I mean, those guys should be keeping pretty safe since I've given them GBUs, so they should be pretty safe engaging from a medium and high altitude. Alrighty, so yeah, close air support. I'm bumping these guys up in the strategic strikes. I really don't want to pull any assets from tactical duties to do strategical strikes. Although strategic squadrons, yeah, by all means, do strategic strikes, but I don't want to replace my tactical strikes with strategic strikes just yet. Guys, you know what I'm focusing on right now, so I'm not going to repeat myself. So defensive counter, I'm keeping this thing slightly higher over here in reconnaissance. Yeah, I'm gonna keep reconnaissance, but again, I don't want to pull any extra assets into doing reconnaissance. OD reconnaissance is tactical reconnaissance and bomb damage assessment. As much as of it we can do ourselves, the better. So now we are also feeding in. We're also feeding in information just to enrich this intel environment over there, guys. Now you see that they have a lot of radar stations. I mean, those radar stations are definitely going to be a threat. And what I like to do really to knock out most of those radar stations, at least over here in the southern and actually western, southwest, west, and over here to the northwest regions of Damascus. And over here, those radar stations in Lebanon, they're a real threat. They have a very high range, as I spoke before about them. And as you can see, they can cover pretty much most part of Israel, so they know what we are up to, and they can schedule intercept flights, and they can set their cap stations more adequately. Alrighty, so this is pretty much it. We're doing those depot strikes, and guys, I mean, this could get boring really fast at some point. At least if you're not so much of a hardcore, BMS fan, or yeah, I mean, these strikes, you can see we have a lot of bases. Ideally, I would like to destroy all of those bases over here on the Syrian-Jordan border, just north of Syria-Jordan border, just to make sure they're not mounting any major offensive. And if they are mounting any major offensive, it's not as effective as they might tend it to be. Now, yeah, I'm also keeping those guys over there. Just it does this thing, weird thing with the waypoints over here. I keep those guys over here on close air support duties. I'm going to be rotating those guys around, and they're going to be pretty much working over at this region. Now I'm taking into account that those guys might not have 100% efficiency, might not be super efficient on striking those targets. They might have some dry runs and stuff. They might have to jettison weapons. They might have to abort missions. So I'm gonna try to keep those guys at it over here to the north in southern Lebanon, and make sure they are some form of assistance to border troops over here. Now, funny enough, I'm not actually seeing too much gathering. We have a pretty much full-blown artillery, actually infantry division over here. We have supply and engineer, but I'm not seeing too much of a blue forces, and that's perfectly fine. Don't get me wrong, guys. It's not a huge military. I mean, the Israeli military, they're focusing on high tech and efficiency and effectiveness rather than numbers, and I can totally understand that this is the right way to do it. Syrian army, on the other hand, is a pretty large army. So they're focusing on numbers. Pretty much strength is in numbers for them. And they have a pretty significantly lower tech weaponry and equipment than the Israelis. So they're trying to compensate just with numbers. But we can see you were drawing some armored battalions and some artillery battalions over here from southern Israel to to assist the situation. Try to improve situation over here to the north. Yeah, so guys, this is pretty much it. Let's get into to the air, and I promise, guys, I think it gets a little bit too boring, those depot strikes over here, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of them. I'm gonna switch to off-camera mode. I'm gonna fly some missions off the camera. I'm gonna keep you guys updated, of course, all the time on what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to keep it as interesting as I can. And really, those spice missiles, maybe you've seen a lot of tutorials there on how to operate them. I may actually go into a little bit more detail with those spice weaponry myself. Very accurate, very valuable weapon to have. Okay, guys. So without any further ado, let's strike this sucker. Okay, so make sure lights, hammocks, master arm, tanks, DD, and lights. Staying on the brakes, and here we go. FT RPM nozzle up. Normally want to hold on to those parameters a little bit longer, but we're just taking off, I'm pretty sure. Everything runs smoothly. Here it is, Bert. And of course you can see, now we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but you can see that those guys have actually those trap wires. They're set up a lot like a carrier, and I think that Israeli jets have, I think most of them have those hooks like for a carrier landing, and they really they're really made for emergency landings, or when you don't have brakes or something like that. I'm wondering if actually our Falcon has hooks. I know we have hook controls over here. I'm wondering if we can actually try to trap those guys, and they're actually functional. Okay, so one thing I didn't do, actually, I marked my my target, which is over here, steer 7, which is steer point 7. This is what the airplane system see. This is not the spice weapon system waypoint. Spice weapon system waypoint is designated a little bit differently. From recon screens, I'm gonna get indications over here, but my blue camp, my second target, I didn't designate a nav point 4 for that target array. So hopefully we're not gonna run into too much trouble out there.
Mustang 1-1 inbound for landing. Good morning, Mustang 1. To north approach. Take spacing and continuing.
Now I've given them my number 2 pretty much the same loadout. Probably I shouldn't have because I'm gonna be the only one actually releasing weapons. But really, guys, I mean, if I can let them conserve those weapons and actually return them home, I'll be happy with that as well. Okay, so make sure those pictures are in
Python
42
2-1
miles.
Dallas. One picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 035, 40 miles, 17,000.
40 miles bandit. We're taking a little bit different route at this time. Just we're going northeast and east, I would say. Okay, weapons are aligning. I want to go ahead, go into this page now. Station 4 gets okay. Station 4 gets target 1. Okay, over here is target point 2. This is the Beluga camp. Guys, this is target point 3, and this is target point 4. 1 on each target, 1 missile. I'm gonna actually the Beluga camp 1 and 2. I'm gonna keep them pretty standard. And the radar station. I know those targets. I'm gonna have number 3, and number 3 is actually over here the station radar. I like this target to be hit from the I would say 360. I'm gonna come in from the south there, and target 4. And let me see what target 4 is. Target 4 is actually the camp, actually Beluga Camp Depot. So it's not right. Radar station radar. This is number 3, and number 1. Actually, number 4, which is station 7. This is the actual TV station now, and I know TV stations have some kind of arrays there. So definitely want to strike. I'm gonna try to put it directly into the windows. Some of the windows out there. So I'm gonna go 090. I want to go it. I wanted to go towards the east. I'm gonna put a shallow attack angle, maybe 20 degrees on this guy. And the rest I'm keeping station 3. I'm keeping. Let's just make a quick review. Okay, station 3 is the station radar, and I want to blast this radar. 45 degrees angle is pretty good. I'm gonna be able to drive those guys in. Now, yeah. So 3 and 7 are my main cluster, and 4 and 6 are my Beluga camp. So I want to go ahead point 3 there. I'm keeping these guys automatic, so 3 and 7 is my first release sequence, and everything is pretty much standard. Okay, so weapons are programmed, master drives on.
Python 2-2. Request permission to engage.
Can actually start to fencing in now.
Python 2-1 Dallas. One picture clear.
It's a clear picture. To see something, we're outside SA2 range, I would say. So going, we're actually within range, or on 3 and 7. So that's 1 away, 3 is away, and 7 is away. As you can see, we have another target indication, so that this is the Beluga camp, and I have to turn way over here to the south, but I have time to do that, so no worries over here. I'm still outside that SA2 range, so I know I'm doing good. I'm keeping my altitude, of course. This is one away, and this is the last one away. So we're Winchester knows, guys.
Caution.
Okay, I can go ahead this, and I can check actually pictures.
Python 2-1, Chalice. One picture is multiple groups. Nearest bandit bearing 105, 50 miles, 21,000.
Alrighty, 50 miles. We have a breeding room here. This is, remember guys, this is the first cluster of targets. I can see the radar station here quite clearly, and we are gauging this guy from the east. So the missile should come actually from here, from this point on. It should drive straight into the windows of of those guys. And I can see some AC-17s. They're certainly not friendly. So right off the bat, I know guys are getting here up over here in this green region, and they're setting something up. So destroying radar installation, destroying the supply depot there definitely makes sense. Now we have maneuvering weapons over here at this point, and this is actually the second. This is the second target over here from this cluster. This is the actual radar. As you can see, the radar is pretty much active. It's turning, and this is the first bomb, guys. Attention, attention! That's one smack. That's one target destroyed, and the second bomb should be coming in from the east. Remember, it's maneuvering, so it might take a little while actually to hit its target. We could actually see this guy coming in. Boom! There's a second hit. Exactly straight from the east. Now we have to defend. But guys, I mean, this is pretty much it, and I'm pretty sure we did pretty well on this depot strike as well. All right, guys. So let me shake this SA2 off, and see you in debrief. Right, there we are, guys. A pretty successful mission. It's indicated as partial success only because we didn't land at your base, but I say it's a resounding success. And those spice weapons, absolutely love them, guys. As you saw, I only hung around just so I can show you guys through the TGP the actual weapons hit, how they actually hit. But normally you wouldn't want to do that, and you actually might launch from longer distances than I did, just because it's such a short range flight. I actually the weapons were in range while they were aligning, so you might want to actually orbit around while they align, and keep it close to their maximum range or 2/3 of a range or what have you, and launch them at much greater range. Especially guys, remember when you don't set attack azimuth up for the actual weapon, you're actually going to maximize the range because it's a free fall bomb. The spice. Actually, it's not a free fall bomb. It's actually a glide bomb. But if you start messing with the attack azimuth, you're actually going to decrease the maximum range because the bomb has to have energy, and it has to conserve its maneuvering state in order to assume the assigned attack azimuth. So if you're dropping with attack azimuth 0, guys, you're going to have the maximum range that the bomb has built into it. So yeah, this is pretty much it. I had 4 hits, and those were the P version, the penetrator version. So the radar is completely destroyed, and actually went in into the actual radar base. It's a concrete base, and actually exploded inside, and pretty much decimated radar, as you guys saw through the TGP. So yeah, the radar station. What can I say about it? I mean, you guys saw it. It was complete and utter destruction there, because it launched into the building and destroyed destroyed the whole building from the inside. Pretty dramatic. And the only reason I didn't destroy the depot was this P over here. It's a penetrator bomb. It was not a It's not a contact fusing. It doesn't have this contact fusing. It has a delay fusing. It's a reinforced bomb. It actually penetrates the target and explodes from within it. Okay, so we got 2 kills, and our major target is destroyed this radar station. We also had good effects on the secondary. As you can see, this blue camp. Let me just find it. There it is. It's we decreased it by 25%. The status of it. And let me see what how we're doing. As you can see, the radar station is at 30%. But I mean, guys, come on. The main control nodes over here are pretty much destroyed. The SASA, as you can see, the radar is destroyed. It's pretty much rubble. The very high effectiveness weapon. As you can see, we pretty much got it to the building. It's I don't know how accurate those structures are, but the top part of it collapsed and actually tumbled over, and this part is pretty much gutted. Yeah, this is pretty much it. Now we have the radio tower here, but we don't have anyone actually. Uh, we don't have any operators there to operate. Anyway, guys, Carnage over there with those spice weapons, and I think very valuable weapon really. I hope those guys over here are doing also well. We have a bunch of actually armor battalions moving over here towards the south. I'm going to be alternating back and forth on gas duties over here and hitting the actual depots. But this is pretty much it, guys. So stay tuned for more campaign action.